Hello and welcome to the first podcast by Physically Fit. My name is Simon Yates. I run Physically Fit and Corporate Strong. And in this podcast, I just want to give you a quick rundown about me, my background, about Physically Fit, about Corporate Strong, about how we got started, my plans for the future for Physically Fit and for Corporate Strong, and my background. So I'm going to start by saying I've been in the industry a very long time, coming up for 25 years now. And I started off with a martial arts sports background. I'd studied sports science diploma at college. I then did my ISSA personal trainers qualification and the YMCA personal trainers qualification, and started out working in a small gym in a hotel in Eastbourne. From then, I actually took a diversion and joined the Metropolitan Police for a couple of years, and was training at a gym in London called Soho Gyms. And I just sort of realised that maybe the police wasn't where I saw my future, and my love for training people was still there. So I decided to leave the Metropolitan Police. I worked as a manager of a gym down in Hersham, here in Surrey. And from then went on to work at the Wimbledon YMCA, and then found myself back at Soho Gyms in London, where I used to train as a personal trainer. I'd say that was my main training ground. I learned a hell of a lot at that place. Met loads of very, very good trainers, including John Dunleavy-Colgan, Patrick Topless and Jason Steele, three guys I looked up to massively when I started out. And from then I met Steve Avery, who was a 5 times British bodybuilding champion. I trained with him for a while. Also trained with Jamo Nazar and Dennis Capri, both pro bodybuilders themselves. And from there decided to get into competitive bodybuilding myself. I competed for quite a few years in bodybuilding, ended up being the under 90 kilo champion at the Southeast qualifiers. Did this for quite a few years. Fast forwarding a bit further, I left Soho Gyms and I ended up working out at Physique Warehouse in Molesey, which is where I am currently based. And from there, I met Adam Bishop, who is currently the Britain's strongest man, and he got me into strongman. From there, I went on to win Europe's Strongest Masters, came second the following year, and also came fourth at the World Log and Deadlift Championships out in Australia last year, which was an amazing experience. So with all of those backgrounds, I found that my love for the sport is still there. I learned a hell of a lot through bodybuilding, through strongman, through my martial arts background. And so I decided to come up with this thing I call the Corporate Strong, which I'll explain a bit more as we go along. So going back to Physically Fit, Physically Fit was actually started by a guy called Freddie Hicks, who was also a strongman. And he founded that back in 2008. And I met Freddie through Physique Warehouse. And we decided to join forces. So we created Freddie already had Physically Fit, and I joined on with Physically Fit. And Freddie has now moved on. He's now a very successful builder and property developer. And he's left me to run Physically Fit. So we've trained every spectrum you can think of, from bodybuilders, fighters, bikini, strongman, powerlifters, housewives, businessmen. We've done everything over the last 10 years. And it's been great. And we've learned a hell of a lot about training, about nutrition, about well-being, about the psychology of training. So at Physically Fit, I'd say we were more of a strength and conditioning company rather than your physique transformation, as it were. I mean, changing people's physiques is a byproduct of what we do. And as I say, we've helped bodybuilders, we've helped bikini models. But I would say we're more along the lines of teaching people how to be flexible, how to be fit, how to have functional muscle, how to eat for performance, how to gain muscle, how to improve their heart and lung health, all these sorts of things for a more healthier well-being, as it were. So from there, I've decided that for the future of Physically Fit, I'm going to be concentrating more on my Corporate Strong side of things. Give you a quick intro into this, because I will be talking about Corporate Strong a lot more in another episode of this podcast. But basically, we're going to concentrate on the working man and woman. So people who lead a busy, lifestyle, who have hectic, stressful jobs and want to improve their health and fitness, but don't have the time to be writing out training programs or prepping food, all these sort of things. So we want to try and make it as easy for them as we can, and also helping them training while they're traveling, helping them with their food choices, helping them with their functional fitness, and generally their general health and well-being. But as I say, I'll talk more about that in a future podcast. But that's just a general introduction into Physically Fit and Corporate Strong. I hope that gives you a better understanding of what we're about and where we see ourselves, where I see myself in the future, should I say. So stay strong, stay safe, and hopefully this virus will be over soon and we can get back to normal. In the meantime, speak soon and stay strong.